in parallelogram law of vector addition, we already discussed in last video, and we got uh, this result, the formula of resultant. Okay, now see here, this one and this one we got. So this thing we got using the parallelogram law, but if we use triangle law also, the same formula we are actually supposed to get. The reason is that you see here, this vector we have shifted it here, okay, and this is making a triangle, okay, and in the whole calculation if you see nicely, that one part of the parallelogram we are not using, only this part of the parallelogram we have not used. We have done everything using only this part. So this part means, what is that? It is a triangle only. It is a triangle, and then one perpendicular is dropped here from B to D, that much. So that means if you use triangle law, then also the same result you are going to get. This is vector P, that is one side of a triangle. This is vector Q, another side of the triangle, and this is the resultant of the triangle. Okay, so whatever you use, parallelogram law or triangle law, the same result you are going to get. Then anyways, now let us use this formula and this formula while solving sums. This one, see here, two forces of magnitude 20 Newton and 10 Newton makes an angle of 60 degree with each other. Find the magnitude and direction of resultant. Simple application of the formula. Okay, so first of all we have to draw this diagram like this. So here P vector is considered this side, this is P vector, Q vector is considered this side, and the resultant is R, which is this one. Okay, this one is the resultant, and it is given in the question that P and Q, how much angle they are making? They are making a 60 degree angle. And the resultant, suppose we just considered that the resultant R makes an angle alpha with vector P. So here what we are supposed to calculate? We are supposed to calculate alpha and the value of R. So for that, let us use this formula. Okay, so R equals to root over P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. Just use the values. P means 20, so 20, 10, then 2PQ cos of 60. Cos 60 means it is half, so if it is half, then that half and this 2 will get cancelled. So this will be 400, this is 100, here it is 200. Okay. So this 200, 400 and 100, it gives us 700, and if you find the square root, it comes like this, 10 root 7 Newton. So this is the resultant, this is the magnitude of the resultant. To get the direction of resultant, again we have this formula, alpha equals to 10 inverse of Q sin theta by P plus Q cos theta. So here Q, as I considered it as 10, substituted here. Theta is 60, so it is sin 60. P is 20, so 20 plus 10 cos of 60. Okay, sin 60 is how much? It is root 3 by 2, so this is root 3 by 2. Cos 60 is half, so half and this 10, it gives us 5. Then 5 plus 20 is 25, and above this 2 and 10 will get cancelled. This is 5 root 3, and then this 5 and then this 25 will get cancelled. So we are getting 10 inverse of root 3 by 5. This is the value of the angle. Then let us see this sum. Find modulus of A. So in the very first class of this, I told you that modulus of A means it is the magnitude of A. Instead of this modulus sign, if I only write find A without any vector sign, then this will be representing, this is representing the same thing with modulus A. Anyways, so here you are asked to find out modulus A and A cap. A cap means it is the unit vector of this. This is the complete vector, this is the unit vector for this. So we have to find both, the magnitude of the vector and the unit vector for this. So for that, one rule is that, remember that modulus A means what we do, we take square root and then we square all the coefficients. Coefficient means coefficient of I is 3, coefficient of j is -2, coefficient of k is 1. So we will square all these 3 coefficients and we will add them. So first coefficient is 3, so it is 3 square, plus is compulsory. Next coefficient is -2, so -2 square, plus compulsory. Then coefficient of k is 1, so it is 1 square. If you add, this will be 9 plus 4 plus 1, so it is 14 under root. Okay, so this is the magnitude of A or modulus of A. Now we have this formula. In the first class already I gave you this formula, that vector A equals to modulus of A into unit vector. So from here, unit vector A is equal to what? Vector A by modulus A. So modulus A is root 14, this one, and vector A is how much? The whole vector. So you write it here. So this is nothing but the value of this unit vector. Okay, so in this way we generally calculate. Simple one. Now we will move to vector multiplication, a very important topic, vector multiplication. So whenever two vector undergoes multiplication, they undergo multiplication in two different ways. The first one is called dot product or scalar product, and the second one is called cross product or vector product. So first, dot product or scalar product. Why do we call it scalar product? The reason is that when two vectors are getting multiplied, the resultant obtained in this case is a scalar one. So that is why we also call it scalar product. Okay, and how we do it? This is the notation, how we write. A dot B, vector A dot vector B gives us AB cos of theta. What is A? Only A means it is the magnitude of A, means modulus of A. B means it is the modulus of B or magnitude of B, and cos of theta, where theta is the angle between both the vectors. Alright. Next, for example, if A is this vector, B is this vector, what is the value of A dot B? How do we get that? So this formula also we have one formula for A dot B. In other way, if suppose you know what is A vector, which is given this one, if you know what is B vector, we can find out A dot B. How do we do that? Remember that while finding A dot B, we only multiply the respective coefficients. Respective coefficients means, you see here, what is the coefficient of I cap here? 2. Here the coefficient of I cap is 2. So 2 into 2 gives us 4. Okay. Next, coefficient of J is 3. Coefficient of J is minus 1. So 3 minus 1 means minus 3. Okay. Coefficient of K is minus 1. Coefficient of K is 2. Minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. So the answer comes as minus 1. So A dot B is minus 1. And most important thing, see here, A dot B, A was like this, no? It has I cap, J cap, K cap, so it is a vector. B also, see, it has I cap, J cap, K cap, it is a vector. But after doing the multiplication, how much we got? We got a scalar number, we got a simple number. I cap, J cap, no, K cap is nothing is there. So that means what? That means we got a scalar thing. So that is why this is called scalar product. Okay. Next, let us see this sum. Find the angle between A and B, where A is given and B is given. So angle, remember, angle means we have to use this formula. Theta we are supposed to calculate. So this formula we are applying directly here. Okay. Now A dot B, as I just now I told you, A dot B, how do we calculate? We just multiply the coefficients. Okay. So similarly, A is this value, B is this value. If you multiply the coefficients, how much we are supposed to get? Okay, let's see. Coefficient of A is 3, coefficient of B is 4, 3 into 4 is 12, coefficient of J is 2, it is 2, 2 into 2 is 4, this is minus 1, this is plus 1, means it is minus 1. This is done, left hand side. Right hand side, A means modulus of A, means how do we get the modulus? Just now in last sum I told you that you give square root and then you multiply, you square all the coefficients. So coefficient of A is how much? 3, so that is 3 square. Then coefficient of J cap is 2, so that is 2 square. Coefficient of K is minus 1, so it is plus minus 1 square. So this is the value of A. For B, same process. See what are the coefficients of B. So the coefficients of B are 4, 2 and 1. So it will be 4 square, 2 square plus 1 square, and cos theta will remain as it is. Okay. Now you find this is how much. If you do the calculation, 9 plus 4 plus 1, so it is again root 14. This is 16 plus 4 plus 1, so it is 21, root 21 cos theta. And this side, in left hand side, we have 15. So if you multiply this thing, it comes like this, root over 294. So the value of cos theta comes as 15 by this, and what we need is theta. So how to get theta from cos theta? We should take cos inverse. If cos theta is this, then theta is cos inverse of this value. So this much is the calculation. Okay. Another very important thing that you must know about dot product. Suppose in case a dot b comes as 0. Suppose like here we got -1, here we got 15. In the same way, in some cases it may come 0 also, a dot b. If it is 0, what is the meaning of it? Suppose, okay, a dot b is 0, so a dot b means again what? ab cos theta. So ab cos theta is 0. Now here three terms are there. One is a, one is b, one is cos theta. And if the product has to be 0, at least one term should be 0. Then only the whole thing becomes 0, right? If you multiply something with 0, then only it becomes 0, no result. So out of a, b and cos theta, one should be 0. Now here clearly, suppose like for this kind of sums, for this sum, okay, for this sum clearly a is not 0, a is non-zero, no, it is root 14. B is what? Non-zero, it is root 21. So in case a is not 0, b is not 0, then the only option that has to be 0 is what? Cos theta. So cos theta will be 0, and cos theta 0 means theta should be how much? 90 degree. So that means both the vectors are perpendicular to each other. So in other words, we can say that two vectors are perpendicular to each other, or two non-zero vectors are perpendicular to each other if their dot product is 0. Okay, so this one you remember. Next is the second type of product, that is the cross product. This cross product is also called vector product because the result that we get, that is a vector. So the formula for cross product, we write it like this: a cross b is equal to ab sin theta. Here it was cos theta, here it is sin theta. With that, this is some n cap is there. N cap is nothing but it is just representing that this thing is a vector, and this is providing, this n cap is the unit vector which is providing direction to this thing, n cap. And why? As I already told you, since it is vector product, when you multiply this, the result will be a vector, and to show that, here we are using this n cap. Alright, one very important thing that you must know here: a cross b is not equal to b cross a, but yes, a cross b is equal to minus b cross a. Suppose this thing also you remember, the direction of a cross b is always perpendicular to the plane containing a and b. That means if this is the plane where a and b are lying, which plane is that? That is the plane of the paper. This is the plane of this paper, right? Okay, a and b both are lying on this plane. So the direction of a cross b will be perpendicular to the plane. Okay, just like if you keep a pen perpendicularly at this point, then that the direction of the pen will give us the direction of what? A cross b. Now the question is that pen will be perpendicular to the plane, no doubt, but it will be upward or downward. If the pen is upward, then also it is perpendicular. If it is downward, then also it is perpendicular. So what it should be? So to get that, there is a rule, we generally call it right hand thumb rule, or you can use that screw rule also. So according to screw, sorry, just a second. So remember that if I write a cross b means just you have to assume that a is moving towards, this a is moving towards b. That's what you have to assume. And if you assume it is in which direction, a moving towards b means it is in anti-clockwise direction. So if you take a screw, or in fact you can take the cap of a bottle also, if you take the cap of a bottle and if you rotate it in anti-clockwise direction, in which direction the cap of the bottle moves? It moves in upward direction, or it opens the bottle, right? So if it moves in upward direction, that means the direction of the vector a cross b will be perpendicularly outward to this plane. I think it is clear. Now in reverse way, if I say b cross a, then b must move towards a. That's what we have to assume. It is not moving actually, we are just assuming. B cross a means b is moving towards a. So it is in which direction? This direction is clockwise direction. Now if you take the cap of a bottle and if you rotate it in clockwise direction, the cap of the bottle will go down. That means the bottle will be closed, right? So as it moves down, that means the direction of b cross a is perpendicularly downward. So that is why a cross b is not equal to b cross a, but yes, a cross b is equal to minus b cross a, because if the direction of a cross b is perpendicularly outward or upward, then the direction of b cross a is what? Perpendicularly downward. So if you give one negative sign here and if you give the direction of b cross a as downward, negative of downward means it is actually positive only, no? I mean it is upward only, which resembles with the direction of a cross b. So just you think what I said. If you find any difficulty in understanding, you can ask. Okay, then let us see how do we calculate this a cross b. So for that okay, this one. Suppose we have a is this, b is this. Find a cross b. For that we have a rule. How do we write a cross b? We'll make this kind of table. I, j, k. Then we will write the respective coefficient. Means if I am writing a cross b, first I will write the coefficient of a. If I write b cross a, first I will write the coefficients of b. So coefficient means I, what is that? It is 4. So just below I, 4. J, minus 1. K, 2. So 2. This is for this thing I have written for a. Then next I will write for b. So b, you see the coefficient 3, 2 and 1, minus 1. 3, 2, minus 1. Alright, coefficients of b. Next what should we do? The rule is that first we will write I cap. Okay, I cap. Then we will leave the row containing I cap, this row, and the column containing I cap, this column. So only 4 numbers we have now. Minus 1, 2, 2, minus 1. Then we will multiply this 4 in a cross way. Cross way means this into this. First, minus 1 into minus 1 means it is plus 1. Then this into this means it is 4. So this into this means plus 1. Okay, just a second. Okay, this into this, so plus 1. So plus 1 I have written. Then this negative sign is compulsory, you have to give here, negative, minus, then what is that? 2 into 2, so that is 4. Done for I cap. Next for j cap. Now remember, before j we have to put one negative sign. These all are rules, okay, so you have to follow that. So before j we have to put one negative sign, this is compulsory. Okay, then we have to leave the row containing j, means this one, column containing j means this one. So again we have 4 numbers left. Then again we will multiply this 4 into 1 this way means minus 4. So I have written here minus 4. Then again this minus is compulsory, and then what we get? 3 into 2 is 6. So here it is 6. Then for k cap is plus only, means plus k we will write. This is the rule. Okay, now once we take k, this row we are not considering, this column we are not considering. Again we have 4 numbers. 4 into 2 is 8. So that is 8. Minus is compulsory. So minus is compulsory, but minus 1 into 3 is giving us minus 3. So minus 3 gives us plus 3. Okay, then this is minus 3 I cap plus it will be plus 10, no? So plus 10 j cap, and this is 11 k cap. So now this is the resultant, a cross b. And if you see that after doing a cross b, we got I cap is also there, j cap is also there, k cap is also there. So certainly this is a vector. That means a cross b, we call it vector product, because the result thus obtained is a vector. Okay, now suppose this is not a part of the sum, this one, but suppose in case in other sum if you are asked to calculate this value, modulus of a cross b. So once you do a cross b, once you have done a cross b, easily you can find out the modulus, just as you calculated the modulus of a in last sums I told you, right? How to do that? What do we do? Square root of, then then we square all the coefficients, right? Similarly, a cross b, how much we got? A cross b is this vector, so this will be root over, square the coefficients. How much is that? Minus 3 square, so minus 3 square, then plus 10 square, 10 square plus 11 square, so 11 square. So if you calculate, this is the value. Okay, so that means once you get the value of a cross b, you can find out modulus of a cross b by this formula. Alright, okay then, thank you.